Hello, everybody. Good morning, whatever. Yeah, good evening. First, we will chant the Heart Sutra. When we chant this, there's discourse between Shariputra and Chandrasik, and especially Chandrasik was teaching about the power of the Buddha's blessing. So you see there are a lot of emptiness. Form is emptiness. Emptiness of form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness is no other than form. So then likewise feeling so forth. So this time when you contemplate about the emptiness, not just mere empty, reflect in the emptiness of our confusion. As yesterday I mentioned, all this confusion, all these mental delusions are nothing but artificial. They are just pollution. They are pollution. They pollute our pure mind. So when you recite this Heart Sutra, that time meditate all the pollution of the mind, the artificial of the mind, all the confusion, mental defilements, mental afflictions, this all are nothing but empty. These are just temporary, adventitious obscurations. So I should get out of this. Their nature is nothing but empty. So with this mind, please chant the Heart Sutra. Okay. Okay, go ahead. You are waiting. You need a confirmation.
Homage to the essence of transcendent knowledge, the Bhagavati. Thus I have heard, once the Blessed One was dwelling in the royal domain of the Vulture Peak Mountain, together with a great gathering of monks and bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One entered the samadhi which examines the dharmas, called profound illumination, and at the same time, noble Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, looking at the profound practice of transcendent knowledge, saw the five skandhas in their natural emptiness. Then, through the inspiration of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said to noble Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva Mahasattva, how should these noble men and women learn who wish to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge? Thus he spoke, and noble Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva Mahasattva, answered the Venerable Shariputra with these words, Shariputra, those noble men and women who wish to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge should look at it like this. The five skandhas should be seen purely in their natural emptiness. Form is emptiness. Emptiness itself is form. Emptiness is no other than form. Form is no other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, perception, concept, and consciousness are emptiness. Thus, Shariputra, all dharmas are emptiness and have no characteristics. They are unborn and unceasing. They are not impure or pure. They neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, Shariputra, since there is emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no perception, no concept, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no dharmas. There is no quality of sight, and so on until no quality of thought and no quality of mind consciousness. There's no ignorance and no wearing out of ignorance, and so on, until no old age or death, nor their wearing out. In the same way, there is no suffering, no cause of suffering, no ending of suffering, and no path, no wisdom, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, since there is no attainment for the bodhisattvas, they abide by means of transcendent knowledge, and since there is no obscurity of mind, they have no fear, they transcend falsity and pass beyond the bounds of sorrow. All the Buddhas who dwell in the past, present, and future fully and clearly awaken to unsurpassed, true, complete enlightenment by means of transcendent knowledge. Therefore, the mantra of transcendent knowledge, the mantra of deep insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra which calms all suffering, should be known as truth, for there is no deception. The mantra of transcendent knowledge is proclaimed, Teyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parsamagate Bodhi Soha. Shariputra, this is how a Bodhisattva Mahasattva should learn the profound transcendent knowledge. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and praised the noble Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, well done, noble son. It is so. It is just so. Profound transcendent knowledge should be practiced just as you have taught, and all the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra and the noble Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, that whole gathering in the world with its gods, men, asuras, and Gandharvas, rejoiced and praised the words of the Blessed One. Thus ends the Mahayana Sutra called the Bhagavati, Essence of Transcendent Knowledge.
Thank you. Now, first we cultivate the altruistic thought to achieve ultimate state of the enlightenment, which means the final destination to arrive where there's no any suffering exists. All the peace and happiness prevails or pervaded that which is within our own mind. So to achieve that state, for the benefit of all sentient beings, today I will follow all the teachings and ceremonies and feel everyone should feel joy, happy about this. As yesterday I mentioned and other days as well, that you see, we in the world, everybody, including ants, small insects, all different types of birds, animals, everyone keep busy their life, risk their life. Sometimes to free from suffering, they go through a lot of suffering. So all these efforts are made to free from suffering and to achieve happiness, peace. We go to school. It's not so easy going to school. And there are many degrees of the levels of the school: kindergarten, preschool, elementary school, higher school, college, universities. Then there are many others. You go through a lot of research. So this we go through this for this life, in this life, to have some better life, free from suffering, and some happiness. For that, we are doing this, So this everywhere, those who believe, those who don't believe anything, but we go through a lot of hard work. Now here, share the same point to free from suffering, to achieve peace and happiness. But we are focusing to cease to exist all the suffering. Now that's our goal, but we don't know what are the cause of suffering. So here, now Buddha explain all the causes of the suffering condition, how to work with that. So this is something enjoyable journey. See, it is, it's not what's called imputed idea. It is the based on the validity reason. You can investigate and then practice, and you can see. So that's what we are doing. Not just only one individual. We are the social human being. So in the society, like in the family, if in the family somebody is not happy, if in the family somebody is sick, everyone worry about that. Everyone is concerned about that. That suffering shares to whole family. Or if somebody is happy, successful in their family, everyone proud of that. Our such family in them, it's very successful, so good, so wonderful. Everyone feels so good. So you see, it's logical. So that is our capital. So by capitalizing this, then we look for all the sentient beings in the samsara, in the world. So since everyone desires peace and happiness, so we are cultivating the mind to attain the Buddhahood, to benefit all sentient beings. So this is our actual responsibility. Like in the family, the father, mother, brother, sister, whoever, they take the responsibility in the house, so that every member in the family are happy, So this, like that. So whole sentient beings in the world is a family of individuals who are individuals. Like Milarepa, who was always in the mountain, but he practiced this bodhicitta for the benefit of all sentient beings. He isolated himself from the distraction of the samsara, but he was not isolated in the nature of the bodhicitta. His compassion, his loving kindness, the bodhicitta pervades entire sentient beings. That's why still how much the benefit is there. By reading Milarepa's life story, by hearing his teachings, everyone is talking about Milarepa. Milarepa did this. Milarepa said this. Now it's become so precious. It's alive. Even though it's about over 1,000 years, he came at the 11th century, beginning of 11th century. But his teachings are so fresh because his mind touched all the sentient beings. Like this, like that. We take these examples. Then we exercise our mind. As yesterday and other day mentioned, our very purpose of following these practices is to take care of all the mental afflictions, purifying them. and revealing the clarity of the mind, our own nature of the mind. So that we individually have to take the responsibility. Buddha will not take away all your delusions. This is your delusion. I will take care of this, But Buddha gave us the instruction, total instruction, method, how to get rid of these cause of the suffering. This is the direct purpose of our responsibility. There's no secret about that. No? So we should understand that, you see. We're not doing something, some things, I don't know how to say, some wonderful thing, amazing things, We're just doing practical thing that they to take care of the direct cause of our suffering in the samsara, that we have been wandering in the samsara for a long time. So these are just reminding, so that we get the message of the Buddha. So to this first, yesterday we now have done the ceremony of the taking refuge and practicing the four immeasurables. And then we also have done the ceremony to take the 5 precepts. And he said also we went through this, seeing our teacher as the Buddha. We visualize that, and accumulating great merit, so forth. So today, please refresh your visualization. I will read in front of you. You see, now I'll read it so you can remember, a beautiful lake, fresh water, cooling. It heals your throat, stomach, the water. It's a medicinal ambrosia. So that's I'll read. In front of oneself, yourself, visualize a very beautiful, soft, smooth blue lake, a huge, then within that lake, a huge lotus trunk grow out of that lake, a trunk, like a tree. Then there are a lot of lotus petals just above the lake, and then more above the lake, then all the branches there. That lotus manifests from the 2 stores, means 2 accumulations, accumulation of merit, accumulation of wisdom. Therefore, it is a wish-fulfilling gem. So this lotus is not just ordinary lotus, it's wish-granting jewel lotus. It is its trunk, branches, the lotus trunk, there's the many branches, and then each those branches has the many petals. Petals and stamen are all composed of the diamond strong vajras. I mean, this lotus is not just ordinary lotus, it's nature of the diamond, indestructible, precious jewel. So meditate on that. The root of the lotus possesses the most powerful vajra of primordial wisdom. The nature of the wisdom means the lotus is, you can see the lotus, but nature is emptiness. So inseparable of the appearance and emptiness. The root of the lotus touches the the golden base, ground underneath the ocean, which holds the ocean, is called base ground. Touch on there, grows from there. This visualization makes the lotus stable and indestructible. So this way, the lotus touches the ground, basic, way down the golden ground touches that. So it makes the lotus is stable and indestructible. There arise many lotus flowers. Then above the leg, then on the trunk, different branches, the many lotus petals are manifest. Lotus flowers from the lotus trunk. In the middle is the huge lotus flower, just in the middle, a little way above the leg. Sits the root Lama, the root guru, in the form of Buddha Shakyamuni. So, as yesterday mentioned, our historical Buddha Shakyamuni sits on that big lotus petal, radiating light down here. We have here the perfectly enlightened one who has overcome and gained all, means purifying all the obscurations and achieved all the complete enlightened qualities. Sorry. Then all, with that Buddha, with the 37 major marks and 80 minor marks, he has one arm span aura around his body. The light is around him. His body radiating with the infinite number of rays of light. Meditate, the wisdom, compassion is now radiating to all the sentient beings. These all are these Buddhas, this radiating light and this aura, or this expression of the Buddha's wisdom and compassion. Because of that, we have to meditate that light radiate to all the sentient beings. No limitation. No. All right. Merely hearing the name of the Buddha, one can attain the as you said here, non-returnable state of the realization. Such is the inspiration power of the Buddha who has overcome and gained all. Because of Buddha's profession of the Bodhichitta, for countless eons, Buddha has practiced the Dharma teaching, Bodhichitta, to benefit all sentient beings. So because of that, we meditate. By hearing Buddha's name, it cools the mind, brings the light in the mind of individual. Surrounding the root Lama, you visualize, and then that Buddha is surrounded by your other many great teachers, as well as the lineage from Buddha up until now. So the Buddha, there's a lineage Buddha and the root Guru Buddha. See, all other spiritual friends means spiritual masters, and abbot, kembos, teachers sitting on the lotus seat in front of just below in front of the Buddha and surrounded Buddha. You see, the root Lama. Above the crown of the root Lama, on lotus petal, visualize the root lamas and the lama of the lineage. Also root lamas on the just behind, above the Buddha. On the lotus seat surrounded the root lamas or teacher. In all the 10 directions, visualize the Buddhas of the past, present, and the future. And Bodhisattvas together with an ocean of assembly consisting of the victorious one and the Charavakas and Patik Buddha, so those surrounded by all the Buddhas of the 10 directions, and past, present, future, and all the great Bodhisattvas like Chenrezig, Manjushri, Vajrapani, Samantabhadra, Maitreya, so forth. On the lotus flower arising out of the leg, just above the leg, there's lotus flower. Below this Buddha Shakyamuni, the root teacher, in the intermediate state place, visualize the great Dharma protector like Makala and also said Shri Devi, Pantanhamun, Achi, those who you know, and others, great Dharma protectors who are manifestation of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. So this you visualize in front of you. Now, it's a special object. Now, this object, we accumulate great merit, and we also increase our wisdom. And this is the object from which we are taking Bodhisattva vow. So it's very precious. It's all enlightened beings. They are the example who are free from the all suffering and achieve the enlightenment. So visualize those. Then with that, today we should say this, please open your prayer book, this page 10. It's a 7 lamp prayer. So read this in English, and then while you're reading this, chanting this, then you contemplate in the meaning and meditate. There are 7 different practices. First, establishing visualization.
I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas in the 10 directions, those who have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at present, and all those Tathagatas still to come. Through the power of Samantabhadra's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms in the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless bodhisattvas. Thus, all space is filled with Buddhas and bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through magnificent chanting, expressing the great ocean of their excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of various pure flowers, flower garlands, music, anointing oils, magnificent light, and fragrant incense. I make offerings to them of fine garments, perfume, and potpourri, piled high as Mount Meru and arranged in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to the Buddhas and make offerings to them, following the deeds of the great Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have done due to my power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas in the 10 directions, of the great Bodhisattvas and Pratyekya Buddhas, those who have attained our hardship, those who have entered the path to our hardship, and all other beings. I request all great protectors and Buddhas to turn the highest wheel of Dharma, the light that dispels the darkness of the beings in the 10 directions and leads them gradually to the enlightened state. I request those Buddhas intending to pass into parinirvana to live long, for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth, in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate.
Thank you. Now, if you have this text, the ceremony that we're going through, page 25, look at the page 25. Now here we have a request first. Today is now here is action Bodhichitta, a vow that we are taking. Yesterday we took the aspiration Bodhichittas practice. Aspiration means we aspire to attain the Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. So aspire means my interest to achieve Buddhahood is very strong. So I have, I decided to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. My interest makes sense. So that's what's called aspiration bodhicitta. Like say, if you have a very special place to go, you read news, information there. So if you go to such place, it's so wonderful place to visit. And all the things makes so desirable. So because of these informations, news, so I want to go now. I decided to go, okay. So that's you aspire to go to that place. This called aspiration bodhicitta, because you have heard of Buddha, you have heard of the Bodhisattvas, how much they have great compassion, how much they have great wisdom, then how they are free from all the suffering, and then how much they can benefit sentient beings. That's just earlier I mentioned. Everyone is working for peace and happiness. So then when you hear the Buddha, Bodhisattvas, you aspire. So to call aspiration bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, now there's a ground bodhicitta, there's a path bodhicitta, there's a fruition of bodhicitta. The path bodhicitta, the ground bodhicitta is our Buddha nature, that as I mentioned yesterday. We have the foundation to cultivate the bodhicitta. That's the ground bodhicitta. So that ground bodhicitta, while we're having that, which nature is Buddha nature, that is our basis to achieve enlightenment. From there we start. Then we follow the path. So taking the bodhicitta on the path to purify all obscurations and to accumulate all the excellent qualities. Follow step by step, Well, we're doing this practice, and then we gain great experience. So you can imagine, before you started these teachings, practices, you don't know anything about. You don't know what's right, what's wrong. You just follow, and sometimes make a huge mistake. Sometimes, you don't know what you're doing. But when you follow the path, you see, now after 10 years, 20 years, you can see the difference in your mind, how much is improved, how much you have clarity, what it makes sense, what is becomes a cause of suffering, that what Buddha asks us not to do. And what's the cause for peace and happiness, which Buddha told us, explained us, to adopt them, to practice them. Now you can see difference, you can see. You may not notice at that moment, but year after year, when you go through this, then you can see that. So this the path is called getting clear, more clear, make more sense. This was called following the path. When it's totally perfected, that is called the fruition of the Bodhichitta. So you see, you understand that the ground Bodhichitta, the path Bodhichitta, the fruition of Bodhichitta. This is a very important point. It's just as mentioned an example. When you want to cook a dish, first, so you have so today I want to make this kind of dish. So you are preparing all the ingredients, putting together as a ground. Then after that, you're working on chopping, your stove is opened, whatever the things they do. Then after all this working, you prepare a dish, so along on the way, Then when it's well cooked, and the pot ready to eat, is a fruition of your effort. So Bodhicitta practices like that, you see. That's why so Buddha's teaching is not something you believe which maybe not exist. Like as mentioned, Buddha talked is the direct reality nature. That what we can, what it makes sense, what it makes sense means, so how to free from the suffering, especially the cause of suffering. Well, we're free from the cause of suffering, there is peace, happiness. Basically, in the absence of the suffering, that's the peace, happiness. See, that we're working for, how to get rid of all the cause of the suffering. Sometimes painful because our attachment to this. So I don't want to let go of that, I'm right. And as long as you are attached to that, there's a suffering. When you release that time is a little painful because we are so habituated. But when you have a courage, see, that's what's called courage. Courage based on the wisdom and compassion. When you release that, then you feel so peaceful. See. Sometimes people say, Dharma is very difficult to practice. Dharma is not difficult to practice. It's our emotion, our mental affliction, where we're entangled. These are difficult to get rid of, you see. It makes it very painful. It's not the Dharma makes you difficult. Actually, Dharma gives us really great comfort, peace, happiness here. So sometimes people have misunderstanding, So like you want to practice, when you do 100,000 frustration, it's very difficult to do 100,000 frustration because we attach to our body. So when you do frustration, it's painful. When you could do this 100,000 frustration, then you feel so relaxed. That's the Dharma. See how much you get benefit from that practice. See? Yeah. So, anyway, this Bodhichitta, now I try to say things, it make maybe sense and or reminding, maybe which I've repeated many times, but only to remind. So like Oman Pema is Oman Pema was one mantra. Oman Pema, then you repeat 100,000, repeat. So the teachings are repeating like that. Okay. Where you're repeating 100,000, the same mantra, Oman Pema, It's just, it's reminding, okay? It's reminding ourselves. So I'm repeating the same what I said, just to remind. It makes more fresh in your mind. Oh, yes, it makes sense. Yesterday, I didn't understand so much, but today it makes more sense. You feel that? You see? Days like that, you see. So now here, for the action now, as the aspiration Bodhisattva, you desire to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Now what we should do? We cultivated aspiration Bodhisattva, but we are not still Buddha yet. We are not Buddha yet. Now what should I do? So then there's called action Bodhisattva. You put the action mentally, physically, make the journey. Like, as I mentioned, when you have a special place to go, first you aspire to go there. Now you're talking about, you are preparing how to get there, by aeroplane, by driving car, or by walking. So you're preparing all things put together. That's called action. Then through the action, then you follow step by step towards the enlightenment of Buddhahood. So, first we have then here one request prayer. He said, after that, repeat the following line as a request, say to the Lama. Now that, again, please refresh your visualization. The Buddha in front of you. All the lineage masters, other great teachers, Buddhas of the 10 directions, great Bodhisattvas. So in front of that, you are now repeating this prayer. Please now, I request you this to give me the action Bodhichitta. I'll read here the translation from you, so from the Buddha, your root guru, Buddha. Okay. Masters, I am going to receive the vow of the Bodhisattva. Here, vow of Bodhisattva means the action Bodhisattva. Of the Bodhisattva. If there is no fault, if there's no obstacles, as I was saying, please give me the Bodhisattva's vow immediately to me. So please give me the Bodhisattva's vow without delaying. I want to practice. I want to follow. I'm so excited. Okay. I'm so fortunate. Inspire yourself. So that here, Bodhisattva's vow. Now here, vow means, you see, some people they're a little afraid taking vows. Oh, I don't know how to take vow yet. So it looks like you are kind of tied or trapped, I don't know to take refuge vow, or I don't know to take the precepts. No, I'm not prepared yet. Yes, there are a lot of these things you can investigate. You can make sure you understand. Here's a vow means in Tibetan, tompa, tom. Tompa, tom, the vow means you abstain from all cause of suffering. Mentally, physically, any what we're engaging the cause of suffering. So abstain from that. It's a protection. Protection, it protects you from all the cause of the suffering. Brings in the state where there's nothing but peace. Not that we have to practice step by step. See? So saying here, requesting to Buddha, your root creature, that you are asking, please give me Bodhisattva's vow immediately if there's no obstacle. Okay. So please repeat this in Tibetan 3 times. Join your hand, your mind totally focus on the Buddha and all the lineage masters and Buddhas of the 10 directions, past, present, future, and great Bodhisattvas and Dharma protectors. Okay, this, and repeat this. Lobe Kongso Sul, Lobe Kele, Da Changchup Sembe, Domba Lembra Tseki, Noba Machi Nam, Mutu Sejing Nawar Rixo. Okay, now the first, please repeat the second. Lobe Kongso Sul, Lobe Kele, Da Changchup Sembe, Domba Lembra Tseki, Noba Machi Nam, Mutu Sejing Nawa Rixo. So that, third time, reinforce your request. From you today, I want to take the Bodhisattva's vows. If there's no any obstacles, so please give me the Bodhisattva's vow without delay. So this mind, please repeat the third recitation. Lobe Kongso Sul, Lobe Kele, Da Changchup Sembe, Domba Lembra Tseki, Noba Machi Nam, Mutu Sejing, Nawa Rixo, O Tageno. Then again, make offerings. So please repeat. Please say this on this here, page 26. I offer to you Mount Meru, so forth. Please make offering this as a mission. Whole universe filled with all this beautiful, luxurious offerings. Make offer to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, including your body, speech, mind, without expectation. Just make offering with full devotion to Buddha. With this, please say this.
I offer to you Mount Meru, the continents and the islands, ornamented with all the visible offerings in the mandala of 1 billion universes. Please accept and grant the accomplishment now. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offering, confessing, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate.
And we have here, page 27. Again, there's one request prayer we have. So there are few requests and all just questions and answers like this. These are to remind and make sure we understood. So you see, it's not just done randomly without understanding, but making, to understand precisely, clearly what we're doing. So that you say here, you said, spiritual master, please transfer me and give me the vow of the Bodhisattva's ethical discipline. This ethical discipline is the action Bodhichitta. Just as I mentioned, getting rid of all the cause of suffering, physically, mentally, and then apply ourselves all the, we should say, virtuous discipline or pure discipline, accepting this. For our own benefit, we need this purification. We need to develop wisdom and compassion. For all to benefit other sentient beings, also we need these qualities to show others the path towards enlightenment. We first have to have those qualities. Without these qualities, how we can help others? There's no way we can help others. First, we have to prepare ourselves to help others. Like say, when you go to university, I want to serve the country. So for that, I want to go to university. I have to train this. Then you go to university, you train all the skill, whether it is technology or politically, whatever you are, want to help. First, you are well equipped of understanding all these things. Once you are fully trained, you know all things what to do, then you come out, say that now I am prepared to do anything to help the country. I'm here. So like that here, same thing. To help others, first oneself has to establish in the good qualities. When oneself is well established in that qualities, then you are equipped to help others. You have the ability to help others, you see. When we don't have ourselves qualities to help others, emotionally we try, then we'll fail because we are not prepared enough. And then we suffer. Sentient beings suffer. There's some, premature teachers, they go around, first become a big thing, then later become a cult member, Then there's everybody suffering there, All the people in the group suffering because it's not prepared well. So all you read the life stories of our previous teachers, like the example of Milarepa, Kampupa. Kampupa, you say during his stay with Milarepa, he saw 1,000 Buddha, He saw all 1,000 Buddha. He's well equipped. And Milarepa said, this is neither good nor bad, still go, But Kambapa himself, he was, even though my teacher said it's nothing special, but I feel good, Then Kambapa continued his practice meditation. Then he saw the Sambhogakaya Buddhas all. And then he was so excited, went to Milarepa. I saw this, Milarepa still said, it's neither good nor bad. Now still you continue, So then after some time, Milarepa gave all the transmissions, teachings, practices. Now you go to your birthplace. Continue the practice. You have seen Buddha Nirmanakaya. You have seen Buddha Sambhogakaya. Now soon you will see Buddha Dharmakaya. At that time, then you can give teachings to the disciples, you see. So Milarepa very precisely taught those teachings and gave the instruction. Accordingly, Kambapa went to his own place. For 6 years, he just meditated. After 6 years, then he really achieved the Buddha Vajradhara state. So now I have actualized all those things. Then he went to Dalakambo, the mountain where Milarepa prophesied. There he gave the teachings, and he became so successful. Then there was no confusion, there was no cult member. All the student disciples gathered there, everyone was satisfied according to their ability, benefiting. So like this here, what is keeping the precept is about that, you see. This is how we should have that understanding. So we have to just continue, study, practice. And meanwhile, if you can help others, you help. But your focus is establishing yourself in a place, in a state. So how carefully designed, See, that's what I like to say, going to 3-year retreat. It's just beginning of the training. 3 years itself is not enough. 3 years is just to finish the course. After 3 years, you have to train. You have to practice, continue. So like that. So here, that as mentioned here, spiritual master, please transparently give me the vows of Bodhisattva's ethical discipline. So ethical discipline is so important. Morality, more good example. Ethics. Completely and perfectly, see. So please repeat this. Again, refresh your visualization. The Buddha in front of you. With that, please repeat this request prayer. You should. 로베 just 로베 공수수 미도가 로베 공수수 그걸 미도가 자. Oh shit, there's something missing. This 로베 공수술 로베 기 달라 장주 셈베 수dim제 돈바 양딱버 랑와 뮤도 제도 술. Now second, please repeat the second. 로베 공소 술 로베 계기 달라 장주 셈베 수dim제 돈바 양딱버 Nyurdo. Yangtapa, Lawar, Nyurdo. Zedo, Sul. Now, third recitation. Say, you should feel from your heart you're requesting this, to receive the Bodhisattva's vow. So, Tsudim Tompa is action. It's called, give me the action Bodhisattva's vow. Okay. Focus on Buddha and repeat the third recitation. Lobe Konso Sul. Lobe Ki. Kala. Chanchu Sembe. Tsudim Tomba. Yang Dakbar. Langwa. Nyurdo. Zedo Sul. Ta Vieno. Now there are some questions, like when I become citizen of the United States, there are a lot of questions they ask you about history, who was the first president, and who is the capital of the country, and what are those, they're called first 13 state, so like those things. So here, same thing, to make sure you are prepared, Here it said Rigipu. Here Rigipu means, in the Heart Sutra, Rigipuam, Rigipumu. Rig means here, the Mayan family. Okay. Those who you are belong to Mayan family. As other day I mentioned yesterday, as a foundation first, even though everybody has Buddha nature, but some are awake, some are not awake. Those are not awake, not prepared yet. See. So Mayana, everybody has Buddha nature, but that Buddha nature is awake. You are prepared. You are ready. Okay? And then taking refuge in a Mayana way. And you took the lay precept, so forth, like that. So that's what called Riki Pumu. So he said, are you Bodhisattva? This means, have you cultivated aspiration Bodhichitta? Okay. Are you Bodhisattva means, have you cultivated aspiration Bodhichitta? Okay. So when you ask this question, here you said, yes, Venerable, I am. Or say, Venerable, yes, I am. Looks maybe better that way, isn't it? In English. What is better? Which is better? Same thing. Venerable, yes, I am. This may be better, Translation, So anyway, in Tibetan, it's called Yinla. Very easy. Yes, I am, I'll ask this in Tibetan, and or I can ask you this in Tibetan, in English. Either way, we have good translation here. You are read in English, then you can answer. Noble born, are you a Bodhisattva? Now please say this. You repeat this answer.
Venerable, yes, I am.
Yeah, that. And next said, Changchukto Malam Tapam. I think here I think in English translation, will you make the aspiration, prayer for the perfect enlightenment? I think this translation should be, have you No, have you met the aspirational prayer for the perfect enlightenment? You should say that. No, because yesterday we'd have done this practice. Okay. So I think I'll just ask in English and in Tibetan. Sorry. Changchubdo molam tabam tapla. Then next we have page 28. Changchubdo denula lap sam. Here is lap sam in Tibetan is a past tense. Have you studied this card? Here translations, will you? Have you studied the Pitaka's, the Bodhisattva's Pitaka? Have you studied? Have you? Yeah. I think you should say lap lap. Whether you have studied, you're getting to this, you say, oh, there's so many Bodhisattvas teachings that Buddha taught. Many sutras, our Tamsaka Sutra, Rana Kutta Sutras. And there's so many. And there's a lot of commentaries by great masters like Nagarjuna, Asanka, all teachings. So when you say lap, I have studied some, and also I will study again more to this board, you should know. Like say, for example, Jewel Ornament of Liberation is the book. That is the teachings all about the Mayana. It's like a dinner. It's a Bodhisattva's Mayana Sutras. So when you say in Tibetan, lap lap, yes, yeah, I have studied some and I will study more. This is the understanding. Okay. So I will say in Tibetan, Changju sembe tenela lap sam lap las. Okay. Now here this future. Next is Changju sembe chobala lopam. This actually is future. Will you learn the Bodhisattva's way of life, the ethical discipline of a Bodhisattva? So this is what is practicing of the 6 parameters. After taking the action Bodhisattva's vow, then so I will practice the generosity. I will practice the discipline, morality. I will practice the patience, samadhi, wisdom, so forth. Yeah, this is, I think this is good. Here, last. Here's a very important work. A Bodhisattva was sacrificing, going out for others' benefit. Now next is Changju symbol, Joba's action, activities. That will you practice that? So you can say yes. This I think you can say in English as yes. Venerable, I will learn. Okay. Changju sembe chobala lopam lopla. Okay. Then he said here. So when you could answer all these things without doubt, with a clear mind, then what is said here is you rejoice yourself that you are free from all obstacles on the path to enlightenment. Because you see, first you're interested to take the Bodhisattva vow, and then when you said, yes, I'm Bodhisattva, means I took the aspiration Bodhichitta. Then when you said, have you studied Bodhisattva's teachings? Yes, I've studied, but I will study more. So I'm very interested in the training of the Bodhisattva's discipline, the practice of the 6 parameters, so forth. So this way, so that shows you are fully dedicated and you are eligible to receive the Bodhisattva's vow. For that, you should totally rejoice. When you studied the Bodhisattva Avatara, at the section of the 3rd chapter, taking the Bodhisattva's vow, mentioned, I have been in the samsara for a long time, haven't had this kind of opportunity. Is this a dream or what? Like a blind person finding such a precious jewel from a dust. Feeling of that kind of joy, privilege. Because Bodhichitta is a teaching of the butter from the ocean of milk. Such a precious. If you study more, practice more, then you will see how precious it is. Now this, please say this offering page that follow that, Again, please visualize whole universe, contain all this and put into like mandala nature and make offering to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, including your body, speech, mind.
I offer to you Mount Meru, the continents and the islands, and the mandala of 1 billion universes, ornamented with all the visible offerings. Please accept and grant the accomplishments now. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate.
Okay. Now, page 29, at the bottom, there's one question is need to ask. Noble born, are you the Bodhisattva with the name? Are you willing to take the vow of Bodhisattva's ethical discipline? So that from your my name, such you can say from your refuge name, okay? Refuge name, that you can use this for Bodhisattva's name. I'm very interested taking Bodhisattva's name. You see, this shows it's all individuals' interest. Nobody can force you. You say, well, if you don't take Bodhisattva's vow, then you will be such. Not that. So I'm very interested. So voluntarily, you are taking Bodhisattva's vow. Voluntarily, you are working for the enlightenment. So that's what's so precious, because, as I mentioned, our interest is to free from suffering. And this is the complete path, how to free from suffering and achieve enlightenment. Okay. Okay. When I read this, and then you just say, de lac. De lac means yes, I will. Yes, I want to. De lac means yes, I want to. It's better instead I will. Just you can say in Tibetan, Dola. Okay. Yeah, but no, first I have to read this. Rigi Boje da Chanju Sembe Ming Dishi Giwale Chanju Sembe Sudim Jo Tomba Lambaran Dodam Dola. Okay. Tabino Lexo said is no. Please repeat again this all prayers, page 30. Open to page 30 and make offerings.
I offer to you Mount Meru, the continents and the islands, and the mandala of 1 billion universes, ornamented with all the visible offerings. Please accept and grant the accomplishments now. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offering, confessing, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate.
Thank you. Now we have real things here. Page 30, page 31. First, I will read all these footnotes, everything. All at this occasion, make offering to the Lama as much as possible. Here, however, it is not necessary to make any repetition, but in response to the Lama's question, you say Dola, means yes, I will extra. Yes, Dola, yes, I want to, yes, I will. And then Tabino, Lexo, so forth. Also that. Now in front of the Buddha, your root teacher, and all the lineage, root and lineage masters, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, great Dharma protectors. In front of that, now you are actually now taking the Bodhisattva's vow. So here, we don't have this in Tibetan. I don't know how it happened. We have this in jewel ornament of liberation, okay? Oh, here we have. First, if I read this, so you get the understanding. Okay. So actual ceremony is called. Then disciple should cultivate the desire to accept the vow, the action Bodhichitta, Bodhisattva's vow. The master calls the noble disciple by name and asks. The basis, now this is the one that I will read. The basis of the training of all the Bodhisattvas of the past, the past Bodhisattvas, the basis, the training of that practice of the past, and those moral ethics, and moral ethics, the basis of the training of all the Bodhisattvas of the future, and those moral ethics, the basis of the training of all the Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 direction. In the present, at this present, in the present, and those moral ethics, the Bodhisattvas of the past, who were trained, the past Bodhisattva who were trained, on the basis of those trainings and moral ethics, the Bodhisattvas of the future who will be trained the Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 directions in the present, who are being trained on the basis of those training and the moral ethics. All the moral ethics are the moral ethics of restraint. Know this. Restraint, moral ethics of accumulating virtue, and moral ethics of benefiting sentient beings. There's these three. First, the restraint means avoiding all the cause of suffering. The second is accumulating all the excellent qualities. When progress, your Dharma study, your practice, make sure you are well equipped, the understanding of the teachings, and as well as the practice. Then after that, say, benefiting sentient beings. See, so there are three moral ethics, okay? Restraint from the non-virtue, and accumulating all the excellent qualities, and benefiting sentient beings. Yes, so sentient beings, do you want to accept this from me, a Bodhisattva, with the name of? When I ask this, then you just say, yes, I want to, at the end. After reading this whole paragraph, and you say, yes, I want to. Okay? Now since we don't have Tibetan, so I have to read English. Now that again, please reflect to the Buddha. You have visualized the Buddha. So you meditate from the Buddha, you are taking this action, Bodhisattva Vow. This is the total, direct, the Bodhisattva Vow that you are receiving. Okay? So with your mind yearning to receive this Bodhisattva Vow, and such a devotion to Buddha, Dharma, and especially the Bodhichitta and the great Bodhisattvas to this. So I will read the basis of training of all the Bodhisattvas of the past and those moral ethics, the basis of training of all the Bodhisattvas of the future, and those moral ethics, the basis of training of all the Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 directions in the past, in the present, and those moral ethics, the Bodhisattvas of the past who were trained on the basis of those training and moral ethics, the Bodhisattvas of the future who will be trained, the Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 directions in the present who are being trained on the basis of those training and moral ethics. All the moral ethics are the moral ethics of restraint, the moral ethics of accumulating virtues, and moral ethics of benefiting sentient beings. Do you want to accept these from me, a Bodhisattva with the name Konchog Gyaltsen? Now, yes, I want to.
Yes, I want to.
Okay, now first. Now second, recitation. The basis of training of all the Bodhisattvas of the past and those moral ethics, the basis of the training of all the Bodhisattvas of the future, and those moral ethics, the basis of training of all the Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 directions in the present, and those moral ethics, the Bodhisattvas of the past who were trained on the basis of those training and moral ethics, the Bodhisattvas of the future who will be trained, the Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 direction in the present, who are being trained on the basis of those trainings and moral ethics. All the moral ethics are the moral ethics of restraint, the moral ethics of accumulating virtues, and moral ethics of benefiting sentient beings. Do you want to accept these from me as a Bodhisattva with the name of Konchog Gyaltsen?
Yes, I want to.
Thank you. Now the third. So again, refresh your visualization. You are taking these precepts from the Buddha and all the lineage masters, including lineage masters and the Buddhas of the 10 direction and great Bodhisattvas, and including the Dharma, great Dharma protectors. With this, I will read the third recitation. The basis of training of all the Bodhisattvas of the past and those moral ethics. The basis of training of all the Bodhisattvas of the future and those moral ethics. The basis of training of all the Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 direction in the present and those moral ethics. The Bodhisattvas of the past who were trained on the basis of those training and moral ethics. The Bodhisattvas of the future who will be trained and Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 direction in the present, who are being trained on the basis of those training and moral ethics. All the moral ethics are the moral ethics of restraint, the moral ethics of accumulating virtues, and moral ethics of the benefiting sentient beings. Do you want to accept these from me, a Bodhisattva with the name of Konchog Gyaltsen?
Yes, I want to.
Okay, Joseph said now here. So this, okay. So said 3 times, you know. Now the conclusion here, what we have here said, the conclusion has 6 subdivisions, making an announcement, means now calling all the Buddhas of the 10 direction. So these who are today took the Bodhisattva's vow. And this is such a great offering to all the Buddhas. So the Buddhas know that Buddha's concern is the suffering of the sentient beings, how these sentient beings should be free from suffering. And as soon as an individual who took the Bodhisattva's vow, and that Buddha gets such a great peace, even one person free from samsara, Buddhas are so happy. So you should bring in the mind, by this taking Bodhisattva's vow, I made Buddha so happy. Because this is a direct cause to free from suffering and achieve the complete peace and happiness. So they're announcing this to all the Buddhas. And then explanation, the beneficial effects of the entering into the omniscient wisdom states. Now we are entering into the path to achieve the omniscient, means Buddhahood. Following the path to achieve the omniscient. So in this, yesterday I read the 8 benefits, Now today we have those 2. First, for oneself. So unlike aspiration bodhicitta, as soon as you take the action bodhicitta, from that moment, then the benefit continues every moment. Unless you are not break, if you're broke, if you break the vow, then there's no benefit to bring, If you just, follow the path in that way. It's like the example is given. You're keeping your money in the bank. If you keep your money in the bank, then the day you put your money in the bank, the interest will continue, will come. So as soon as you have the bodhicitta in your heart, in your mind stream, then the interest of the benefit will continue to increase. So you should have such a great joy, happy. And in the text that they mention, this is the best offering to Buddha. As yesterday I mentioned also, you make offering to Buddha flower, incense, and this kind of light, all those things. It's good to do that. But this is the best offering to Buddha. Buddha attained Buddhahood to benefit sentient beings. This is how we are now doing things, to support Buddha's activities. So keep these in the mind. Always inspire, study, practice Dharma. Sometimes we will encounter obstacles as long as when we have these mental afflictions. Until we have those mental afflictions, there will be impediments, obstacles, but our focus is to purify the mind and enhance the bodhicitta. May every sentient being have all the peace and happiness. May every sentient being free from suffering, and may they quickly achieve enlightenment. Say those prayers and then follow the mind with that. And that surrounds all the peace and happiness in our life. Step. Warning not to proclaim the Bodhisattva vow randomly. This means don't go around. I took Bodhisattva's vow, with the kind of ego. Okay, today I become Bodhisattva. No, I'm very special. Then it brings more suffering. It becomes obstacle. So we have to kind of stay behind. All sentient beings put in the front. Help others. So I'm the service for the sentient beings. Instead of building ego, I'm very special. I took Bodhisattva's vow from there. I took refuge from this great teacher. Now I'm special. I'm qualified, such, developing our own ego. And that's not the purpose of this practice. The purpose is to free from the suffering, to free from the cause of suffering. See, making the disciples understand by briefly describing the training of the training. Yes, the training is mentioned as the 6 parameters. Is the training, practice of generosity. So this practice of the moral ethics, practice of the patience, practice of the perseverance, and practice of the samadhi, meditative concentration, practice of the wisdom, special understanding, realization of the emptiness. This is the training. That's so precious, That's a practice of first giving. Giving is a practice of joy. When you give things to others, you feel so good, as yesterday I mentioned, if you give smile to others, it's a joy, It's because your face becomes flexible, a smile, and then you're giving joy to others. See? When somebody's walking with a hello, and that person feels so relaxed. Oh, hello, how are you? The weather is so good, like these things, It's very simple, but it is such a wonderful practice. So if you walk with, grimace face, oh, so you have to smile more. And then all in the family, they feel so peaceful, happy, You're just coming in the house with those very sad face, Everybody's afraid of you, So like that, giving is the practice of joy. Any amount. So you just give, you feel joy, you feel free, That's what is Buddha taught, practice of generosity. And without expectation, you give freely, And moral ethics, such wonderful, avoiding all the cause of suffering and adopting all the cause, peace and happiness. And then practice of patience. Basically, there's different types of patience when you encounter obstacles, suffering, when you encounter some individuals who is in bad mood, who expresses their anger, to those who need to practice the patience. As yesterday I mentioned briefly, Now patience is like, say, nobody wants to be angry. In reality, in the mind, oh, today I want to be angry, So, nobody wants to do that, But it just pops up when the meat causes condition, If there's something's not going well, then that manifests the anger. That doesn't want to cause you to be angry, but it manifests the cause. So everything's causality. Everything is based on cause and condition. This is what is called interdependent. Having said that, the interdependent itself means nothing exists inherently. It's just illusory nature. Like in the ocean, you see big storm manifests and destroy whole village, town, city, that area. When it's disappeared, you see it's just water. But there's some wind, and then they come together, they work together, they blow up, then it destroys. It's like a monster, All the concrete, big buildings are just destroyed, So you feel how that can do this. When the storm disappears, then where they're gone? It's just illusory nature. So like anger, very peaceful person, when the mind is disturbed by anger, then he or she becomes a monster because the anger pushes them. It's conditional. And that person is suffering so much. Not only cause suffering to others, but person himself is suffering. As long as the anger is there, there's a pain in your heart. So a lot of heart attacks come from there. The anger. So when you practice this loving kindness, compassion, always, it seems like weak people. Some say, it's so weak, you are so weak, And actually, it's not weak, it's courage. So we have to have the courage based on wisdom, you see. If somebody creates that conditions and you remind of the compassion that other is suffering, it's just conditional. It's just a manifestation. It's just a reflection of the mind, reflection of the karma. It's my karma that I have created, that which, I got this condition. It's my karma. So I am the one who's responsible to purify. Sometimes we say, I feel I'm the victim of that person's anger, So there's a way, how to reflect on that. It looks like I'm the victim of that person's anger expression, taking advantage of the norm, and the victim of that person takes advantage of me. But in reality, I pay the back of my karma that I've created. I'm purifying my karma. I'm so grateful that person did that. Through this practice, I purify all my obscurations, and then eventually I become Buddha. So I become Buddha because of I practice patience. I practice patience because of that person's made that condition. If everything's fine, no problem, we won't express anger. From middle of nowhere, you will not be so angry, but you become angry because of conditions you made. So that person made a condition to you be angry. And that time you practice patience and you purify. You see, that's what's called everything's interdependent, interconnection. Everything's just manifestation. But we need the wisdom. We need the courage to do these practices. That's why Bodhisattvas practice such a precious. It's a source of peace, source of courage. See? Here it said here. One's own benefit arises continuously, and benefit for others arises in various ways. If I read this first, the cultivation of action bodhicitta is unlike the preceding, since the continuous force of merit arises constantly, whether one is sleeping or unconscious, like lacks awareness and so forth, engaging in the conduct of the Bodhisattva, Bodhicharya Avatara.
The gatherings. So now first we get motivation and then prayer book.
Cultivating the bodhicitta, action bodhicitta. Even while asleep or unconcerned, the force of merit equal to the sky will perpetually ensue, will increase. Then the next, the benefiting others from that bodhicitta, practice of the action. The benefit for others variously arises, means that the suffering of all sentient beings is dispelled. They are established, the sentient beings are established in happiness, and the afflicting emotions are cut, purified. Engage in the conduct of Bodhisattva says, for those who are deprived of happiness, and so those other people, other sentient beings who are deprived of happiness, when they are suffering, you give the happiness. And burdened with many sorrow, those are deprived of happiness and burdened with the many sorrows, it satisfies them with all joy. You try all the best to satisfy, make them happy. See? Make them all joys, dispel all the suffering, and clears away confusion, giving the wisdom, so they clarify all their confusion. Where is there a comparable virtues? This is the best virtue you can accumulate. Where is there even such a spiritual friend or spiritual master? This, the Bodhichitta, is the best spiritual master, giving the opportunity, peace, happiness, helping them to free from all the suffering. Where is there merit similar to this? So this is a brief explanation of the benefit of the action bodhicitta. Okay. So then we can discuss the more this afternoon. Right now, I think it's 12. It's good. Okay. Yeah, it's wonderful, Yeah, exactly. So you rejoice. First, you rejoice yourself. There are three things. First, I have the precious human life. Now, my precious human life brought such a benefit. Today, I'm born Buddha's family, Mayana. I belong to Mayana family. So what a great joy. We call Bodhisattva teachers, lamas, gurus. This is a great Bodhisattva. This is a great Bodhisattva. Now we are part of that. So just feel that, meditate. Then next, very important, I will never disregard this family, Mayana, even risk of my life now. I will never, dishonor this family. I will respect this Mayana family, which is within me. And then the third one, today in front of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, I took this Bodhisattva vow to benefit all sentient beings, including the God and demigods. To establish you all the enlightenment, Buddhahood. Meanwhile, on the way to Buddhahood, I invite you all as my chief guest. So chief guest means practice of generosity, moral ethics, patience, I'm here for you all. So sentient beings, be happy, relax. Wonderful, isn't it? Yes. This is the Bodhisattva Avatara's message. We said in the Bodhisattva Avatara, Shantideva said that, So I'm just repeating. So with this, okay, if I made any mistake, we just first chant 100 Silpa mantra. Is there 100? Where's the 100 Silpa mantra? Page 18, please look. Page 18. those who have not memorized. Those who have memorized, then no need to look, you know. Om Banza Sato Samaya, Mano Balaya, Banza Sato Tenoba, Distant Tetro Membawa, Sutu Kayo Mem, Subu Kayo Membawa, Anorato Membawa, Sarva Sete Meprayasa, Sarva Karmasu. Chetan Shriya, Guru Hong, Ha, Bakawana, Sarvata. Bardama Memonda, Bardembawa Masa. Satu Badra Satu Samaya Manu Palaya Badra Satu Tenupa Teta Tetum Sudu Kayo Membawa Subu Kayo Membawa Anorato Membawa Sarva Sete Meprayata Sarva Karmas Chetan Shriya Guru Hong Ha Baka Sarva Tata Gata Madrama Memonda Bardembawa Ma Sato Badra Sato Samaya Manu Palaya Badra Sato Tenupa Teta Tetu Mebawa Sudu Kayo Mebawa Sudu Kayo Anorado Mebawa Sarva Sete Meprayata Sarva Karma Sudame Chetan Shriya Guru Hunga Sarva Tata Gata Madrama Memonda Bardem Masamaya Sadhu. Now please say this dedication there, what we have. Glorious, which page? 75. Please open that.
Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assemblies of Yidam deities and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yogins, Yoginis, and Dakinis dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana in the innate root of virtue not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Shravakya or Pratyekya Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading Maras and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such, in the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Thank you. And we'll have a break for lunch. And then we'll meet at 2. Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you, everyone.